purchase these compost bags and bring it to your house and use locally available materials to establish what we call a cropping house from thatch, bamboo, and some wood. After you have established this cropping house, the bags you have purchased, which ranges between 1,300 to 2,000 cedis per one, you cut this open, and within a week you start harvesting your fresh mushrooms. And as you continue to harvest these fresh mushrooms, you sell them in a fresh form or in a dried form, and through which you earn some income.
Oyster mushrooms in nature grow mainly in the temperate zones of the world. This activity occurs on rotten trees, of which examples exist abundantly. They have a fragrant flavor that includes a good texture for various cooking purposes. The cultivation technique for oyster mushrooms is simple and not too expensive. One area of interest and assurance is the availability of growing substrates such as sawdust, straw, corn stalks, hardwood chips, and other plant fibers which have high cellulose contents. There are various growing methods for oyster mushrooms. The prospective mushroom farmer must of necessity understand and appreciate the biology, the ecology, and the growth dynamics of the variety of mushrooms to be cultivated. What are the mushroom's substrate's requirements? The answer comes from cultivating the preferred mushroom on a wide range of organic substrates, for instance, on organic matter from various types of crop residues, and also on other categories of biomass found in abundance in the local environment, such as sawdust, wild grass, brewery waste, and others.
With the oyster mushroom cultivation, it goes through 6 main stages. First, we have composting of the substrate, bagging of the substrate, then also sterilization, inoculation, incubation, and cropping of the mushrooms. Now for the composting, we normally use sawdust as our main substrate. Then we use either rice bran or wheat bran as additives, and also quicklime, that is from oyster shell, or whitewash, what we call whitewash. Now, when we want to compost the substrate or the sawdust, it goes through various stages. We take 1 ton of the sawdust, 70 kilograms of rice bran, or 35 kilograms of wheat bran. Now with the rice bran, we normally prefer using that because when you use wheat bran, there's a high rate of contamination. Now the rice bran is added to add protein or crude protein to the substrate. Then the quicklime is also added to sterilize the substrate, that is to kill microorganisms, organisms which will disturb the mushrooms when it starts growing. That takes about 21 to 28 days, depending on the type of sawdust that is used. Normally we use sawdust from softwood because it decomposes very fast, or it decays very fast. Softwood takes about 21 to 28 days to decompose, and redwood takes about 2 months. So when you look at the commercial implication, we normally use the softwood so that everything will move on very fast. Now after that, within the 21 to 28 days, we have to turn the sawdust, because at the various levels, we turn it, it's normally in a heap. With the constant turning, we get a uniform rate of decomposition within the heap. Now after the heap has been decomposed, there are certain signs that show that the heap is fully decomposed. First of